Well, good morning, everybody. We're reading through Zephaniah 1, 2, and 3. Zephaniah 1, 2, and 3. Here, man, prophecy is hard to read when you hear all the doom and gloom and disaster and everything else that is coming. And a lot of people who don't understand the history will look at this and say, it doesn't sound like a very loving God, but he's an extremely loving parent. And he had delayed his judgment on Israel for generations upon generations, and sending his prophets and trying to convince them to change their ways. And it got to the point that if he didn't bring in correction at this time, they would be destroyed, absolutely crushed and non-existent. And he wanted to preserve them, so he had to send them into exile, really as a timeout, so that they would realize that everything that they had was because of him, and they needed to focus on him, so that they could repossess everything. But everything depended on him. None of this was done by them. None of it was. It's not like they earned any of this stuff. This was all by his grace, by what he did for them, and he needed to realize that they cannot survive without him. This was absolutely important, and this is what the correction was all about. And yeah, it was severe, because that's what it is when one country took over another country at that time. It was pretty severe. So here is this impending doom, and yet what we hear from the prophet, it's still not too late. Just turn to the Lord. It's a simple matter. Turn to the Lord, and you can avoid all this. Turn to the Lord, repent, return to the Lord, and you can avoid all this. It's just like, yeah, it's as simple as that. Return to the Lord. It's not like he's going to have you jump through all these impossible tasks and stuff to earn this. He wants to give you this. It's by his grace. Just turn to him, and you will avoid the disaster. Sometimes we hear people saying, well, it's too late for me, or I'm too old, or I've missed the opportunity. All kinds of excuses, all kinds of things, and it's not true, because his calling is irrevocable. It's irrevocable. It's never taken away, and you could live to the age of 99, and in your last 3 months, walk in the calling, walk in the position that he's called you to, and he's not going to hold that against you. You remember the parable of the workers of the fields, right? There are those who are hired early in the morning, and those who are hired in the last hour of work, and they received all the same wage, because that's the way the kingdom is. It's never too late. It's not about the length of time that one serves. It's about the faithfulness of that service is what matters. You can serve the Lord for 30 years, and in the last year just turn your back completely on the Lord. 30 years was a waste, because you have to go to the end of it. You can waste your life for most of it. I wouldn't recommend this, but waste your life for most of it, and in the last 3 months turn to the Lord and serve him faithfully, and that's what matters. You've missed out on 30 years of sweetness and joy and growth and incredible adventures and everything else, but you've served him faithfully. For the last hour of your life, you've served him faithfully. And all it takes for salvation is to believe, but you can miss out on all the other benefits. So I'm not recommending that you delay it. But if you're at that age, if you're looking at it and you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and you think, well, it's just too late for me. It's not. It's not. It's never too late. Here Israel is looking at this impending doom. It's there. And the prophet says, just turn to the Lord and you will be saved. Just turn to the Lord. It doesn't matter how much time you've wasted. What matters is today. Today is the day of salvation. Today is what matters. This is the day. I mean, his mercies are new every morning. This is an ongoing, in the moment relationship. It's not a relationship that's calculated to tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now. It's today. It's in this moment, this faithfulness that matters. That's what matters. Yeah. Hope you'll consider that. I don't know what your story is. Maybe I do. Decide for the Lord today. You guys be blessed, encouraged. Love y'all.